tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This cup used to be green, said Santiago's on it. Still a great cup. I don't think there's any more green on it at all. I think all the green is gone. Because it's gone, daddy, gone. Love is gone. Gone, daddy, gone. Love is gone. Hi, CJ. Good to see you. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Oh, hi, Michelle. Good to see you. See you. We had another pretty good meeting, man. Proud of us. We are making grassroots meetings making a difference. Even if the group saves one life, it's all that matters, man. You know, I just find that people are comfortable talking there, you know. So yay! Yay, you made it. We made it. Looks like we made it. All right, here goes the part all the girls seem to like. I'm going to strip. Oh, sorry. It's just not Baby Yoda. His name's Grogu. Grogu. This is the way. There'll be another Mandalorian movie, but I think it's the series kind of ended. Luke is. I don't know how they're going to do that. I mean, because Luke went on later. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And most of you don't care. Like, we didn't come here to listen about Star Wars to you. Been a productive day. So, I'm supposed to be taking a tour right now. I was supposed to take a tour at 2 o'clock, but it was canceled because of all this snow we got. I don't know why they canceled school and stuff today. Just all right. On my side of town, it's not that bad, but down south, it's a little. I guess they got a lot more. That's what you get for living down south in Colorado, I guess. That's what you get. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. That'd be me. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. This is a reading that Amber sent out. Hey, Sam, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I don't know which one it's. I think it's a Hazelbrook. But I thought I would utilize it. I wasn't sure what to talk about. Leisure, man, everybody's here. I got a little bit of pressure, man. Right on. And everybody is here on YouTube. You suck, Facebook. Suck it, Facebook. I'm only on there for the lives and stuff. Let's kind of get started. February 21st, to thine own self be true. AA medallions. AA medallions. William Shakespeare came up with this line. It's a line from William Shakespeare. I don't know which one it is. but that's where we got it from. So kind of fun. AA medallions, like AA medallions has all these great things they said, like Carl Jung and stuff. And all right, sometimes we hear that we have to have a selfish program. I was actually just talking to somebody about this after the noon meeting, that in the beginning you gotta be selfish about your program, but it's going to be a good selfish. It's going to be the kind of selfish, that we were utilizing it. You know, be selfish about going to your meetings, about getting a sponsor, about doing the work for yourself, right? Because there's an old saying. We don't say it much anymore, which is um, enjoy the first year. You know, the first year belongs to you. After that, your ass belongs to AA. So enjoy your first year. Right. Being selfish means that we ask for help when we need it. We only go to places that are safe for us, no matter what others are doing. Being selfish comes to mean safety for us. You know, might feel like you're missing out on something. You'll see other people doing something. Maybe they're drinking with impunity. All right. All right. I'm going to tell you something. You ain't missing out. God will not let you miss out on anything that you're not supposed to miss out on. Quite often during the time, it seems like, well, I want to be a part of that. Then 6 months later, you see it fall apart because of some stupid shit. You're like, oh, that's why. That's why I wasn't supposed to be involved with it. It's happened to me often. Well, God, why aren't you? I see you. What's going on there? And because my God knows my true intentions, because He knows that I just want to do good in this world, that I just want to make a difference, He will keep me out of certain things. Yes, He will. Being selfish doesn't mean we act like brats. Yeah. Where my selfishness used to be a manipulation, demanding that things happen instead of requesting. Even my prayers were demands. God, get me out of jail and I'll be a better person. All right. Never worked, did it? Well, yeah, it did. I eventually got out of jail, but not in the time that I wanted to. So He did answer my prayer. He's like, you'll be out after 60 days of jail time because you did something wrong. So, in a sense, it's just I always wanted everything in my time, you know, and I find that my time doesn't really exist. It doesn't really exist. It's my wants. Hey, Ingrid, good to see you too. Yay, we got somebody from Facebook. So being selfish doesn't mean we act like brats. We must act in ways that show respect and love for ourselves and for others. There's a lot of things in that we do that there's a lot of things in AA that got to start with you first. Respect kind of is one of those things. It's going to be hard to respect other people when you can't respect yourself, right? And how can you respect yourself? Well, don't call yourself names first off. Give yourself a little bit of a chance in this world. You're doing something hard, so maybe give yourself a little bit of leeway. If there's a person in this world that I don't give grace to, it tends to be me. And I'm the first person that I should give grace to, right? What are some of the other things? Love. Love's one of them. The thing is, you can't transmit what you don't have. and that includes how we feel about ourselves. Um, being selfish means we do what is good for us, not just me, but us. All right. So there's a lot of things a lot of times I do things, but like even when it comes to the meetings and I'm picking a topic, I ask people how they're doing as they come in. I probably talk to some people as they've come before they came in, and I'm going to base what the topic should be off of how people are doing. That's usually how I get my topic. I usually get some kind of epiphany or thought of what it should be. And it's usually correct. It's my intuition. All right. So when we're doing these things, my see, so how would this like this now me doing this? It's selfish. Why do I do it? I do it because I like being the center of attention. That's the number one reason. Okay. But I also love helping other people. It makes me feel good. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something. That is selfish. But when I do it, I'm thinking of you also. Why? Because I want you to enjoy yourself here too, just like I am, so you'll come back. You bet. Selfish, but it's the right kind of selfish. It's the right kind, right? I'm being true to myself because when I'm true to myself, I'm going to be true to you too. Yes, I will. It's an automatic thing. Okay. If I can love myself, then gosh, it's a lot easier for me to love you because I understand it. What is good for us? First, we have to save our lives by stopping our drinking and drugging. It's a good start. Absolutely. I didn't see this. I didn't see this, leisure man. Prayers are only unanswered when we are not listening. Yeah, yeah. It's the only time they're not answered. You're correct. Our higher power does for us what we could not do ourselves. Better yet, I was incapable. The moment I realized I could no longer reason myself out of a position I didn't reason myself into. It's a great way to put it, Sam. Thank you very much. Next, we start working the steps. We come to know a loving higher power. This is how we come to know our true selves. And that's going to be it. You got to learn who your true self is. And there's a process in order to find your true self. And that process is the 12 steps. Not just the 12 steps, the process that's being used to find out who you are has been going on for ages, thousands and thousands of years. Absolutely it has been. Right? It's not some new concept that AA came up with. No. Uh-uh. To thine own self be true has been something that has been constant through millennia, man. Right? But in order to be true to yourself, you got to find out who you are. No. Got to find out what's going on with it is especially that fourth and fifth step where we really start to dig into those causes and conditions, see how I was acting and realizing that even my smallest action is affecting somebody else. Right? We are extraordinary people. We are not ordinary in the sense that we are ordinary. No, we are not. Okay. If there was a normal, we would not come close to it. We are extraordinary. And that can go one of two ways, bad or good. Bad or good. There's no gray in there. Okay. There's no such thing as a white lie. We figured that out, didn't we? No such thing as a white lie. There's lying, and then there's being honest. Right? Your true self is your soul without your ego. Oh, there we are. Is it Wednesday? Because Leisure's on a roll again. All right. Prayer for the day. I'm going to do a little bit more too. I went and Googled some stuff. I did an AI overview on it, see if we could get more out of it. Prayer for the day. Higher power, help me be true to myself and my values. Got to find those values first. Yeah. Help me be selfish about spending time to talk with you each day. Action for the day. I'll list 10 ways I need to be selfish in recovery. If I get stuck, I'll be selfish and ask for help. All right. Yeah, it's just a matter of taking these things that because you'll hear that you already had it. You tapped an unsuspecting inner resource. See, what you're doing is it's a process of replacement. It's going the other way with it. It's what we would call doing a 180-degree turn. It's an about face, right? To thy own self be true is a famous quote from William Shakespeare play Hamlet, where the character Polonius advises his son Lardus to always be honest with himself and live according to his own values, essentially meaning to stay true to your authentic self. There we are. But, and I don't care who it is, okay? This does not just apply to alcoholism. This is the problem of every human being. Finding and being your authentic self. It's hard to be that, isn't it? The world doesn't quite allow for it. Well, what are we? We're extraordinary, man. People are going to notice. People are going to notice. Now, this is where I believe that courage comes in, right? Because I do everything that I can to be my authentic self at all times. The way I am here is the way I'm out there, right? I swear just as much. You know, I was just talking to Pastor Marcia. I'm sure I swore 20 times while I was talking to her. I don't change who I am because somebody else is around. I will not do that. Nobody deserves my disauthentic self. It doesn't feel right. Right? So like when we got together for Christmas, my brothers and sisters we were all just acting like we were getting along, and I can't do it. That is not my authentic self. And if I'm not allowed to be my authentic self, I'll go somewhere else. People might say, well, you're a little too much. Well, then go find less. That's okay. You're not required to be around me, right? Leisure says, once the ego is removed, it must be replaced by a higher power, force of the universe, God, whatever you call it, a doorknob. Sam, when a shitty day of honest introspection and loathing becomes a day of utmost gratitude. Yeah. Yeah. When your authentic self shows up in a tizzy and we sit back and say, how lucky am I? Oh, Michelle says, I often tell my ego to the curb. Take my ego to the curb. All right. Give it a Kirby. Sorry, that was a very bad joke. Your authentic self, regardless of external pressures or expectations, it emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and integrity in one's own actions. You know, here's the thing is I have found anyway, that it wasn't until Dion became his authentic self that his fellowship really started to show up. That's when it happened. And it took me a long time to find it because I didn't have to wade through just alcoholism, and neither do you. You got other things too. I had to wade through anxiety, PTSD, depression, ADHD, all sorts of other shit before I could find my true and authentic self. And I know it because I can look in the mirror and I know I'm not full of shit. My intuition says, yeah, Dion, you're being the best person that you can be now. And that's the authentic Dion. And it's quite often that a lot of people tell me, you know, I love how authentic you are. Thanks. You can do it too. Okay. Do you want to know people that you want to know the people that don't tell me how authentic I am? People that are authentic. So when you get enough courage and you become your authentic self and you can be that anywhere, what you're doing is you're giving permission to other people to do it also that maybe didn't have the courage. Well, if Dion's doing it, maybe I could try that too. And you start to get permission. It's not really permission, but your actions are giving permission to those people to be who they are, to be who they are. Isn't that cool? Yeah, absolutely. It's the reverse of bully. I love you too, Michelle. Let's see what some other things they have to say here. Proverb, to thy own self be true. Be yourself, to be true to yourself. Do not engage in self deception. So now we're coming back to rigorous honesty. Rigorous honesty. To this one, um, it was, I don't know, 3, 4 months ago. One of my cats got into it with one of the other cats upstairs, and I had to pull them apart, and something happened to it, and it was swollen for a long time. Um, but I've just been using this to kind of help it heal a little bit more. It's more cracking than anything else. It does hurt every now and again, but I think it's dislocated. But I went and got it, pictures of it and stuff, and they came back and they said nothing's wrong, and they're like, and we're gonna do nothing about it. So I, no instructions, no follow up, no no doctor's advice, nothing. So anyway, so do not engage in self-deception. Don't lie to yourself. And how are you going to know you're going to lie to yourself? Your tummy will tell you. Yeah, tummy, right? Your intuition is where your morals stand, where your values are. Remember when you were little, you tell a lie and your tummy hurt? Yeah. Well, I already have this though. I don't need a popsicle stick. But yes, I've had to do that too. Yeah, you put one on, you break it in half, and then tape it up. Yeah, I tell Ingrid spent a lot of time outside. Hey, you had to know how to give CPR and shit when I was growing up. How to mend a broken leg, how to make a splint while in the woods, right? You're on your own again. Yep. Going down the only road I've ever known. All right. So a lot of people have been asking about, I've been hearing this a lot in meetings because they don't understand if they are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. Right. And there's all this discussion. Well, am I being constitutionally honest with myself? Am I okay? What they failed to do was look up the meaning. It's a fancy way of saying denial. It's that it's denial. And page 21 is full of all of those constitutionally incapables. Okay. Keep it simple. Okay. If you don't understand something, look it up. Yeah. Yep. Done that too. Or the finger, you can do that. Tape it to the next finger. That's what I started with on this one before I got the brace. Triage. That was the word I was looking for. We Gen Xers had to learn triage. It's a way of saying that nothing at all matters more than how we should act in our own esteem. You come first, man. You got to come first. I I kind of wish it wasn't always that way. But I got to take care of me first, or I'm not any good to anyone. Right? I don't want to use this as an example because there's been a lot of plane crashes lately. But let's say the plane's going down, the oxygen mask falls down. Who's are you going to put on first? Well, I'll put my kids on first. No, you put your own on first, because what happens if you put theirs on and then you pass out? Now you're no good. Where if you would have put yours on, then you would have had the capability to put theirs on too. Now you're both okay. Right? See how that's a good selfish. You're thinking of everyone. Right? In the ninth step, it says, except when to do so would injure them or others. Did you ever consider that you are an other? Because you are. I want to go make this amends. I'm going to end up in the hospital. They're going to kick the shit out of me. But, but at least my side of the street will be clean. No. Mm-mm. So true. The days when I would share at a meeting and talk about how much I've struggled with recently, instead of singing the optimistic praises of a juxtaposed sobriety. You're on a roll too, Sam. Now, if you tell us what juxtaposed means, I'm assuming what it is, but be honest, I don't know. See, it's okay not to know a word. Right? It used to be when you went to an AA meeting, there was the big blue book, and then right underneath it was a big red book. It was called the dictionary, and we used it all the time. But for some reason, if we can't get past it, we don't know what a word is, we're going to miss the meaning of it, which means that we may miss out on something. It's okay. I look up words here all the time. When people were like, when they brought up a constitutionally incapable, I went and looked it up because I was like, we're missing something here, and I don't remember what it is. I knew this before, but I just didn't remember, and it was about denial, and that helped me out. Oh, okay. Now I can get past that, and I don't have to sit there and wonder whether the chicken or the egg came first, right? Right, right. So, is to thine own self be true in the Bible? I'm sure it is. No, it is not. It's from William Shakespeare's play. Why does AA say to thy own self be true? Through honesty, you learn acceptance. Absolutely, I agree. I agree with that. I thought for a minute you were going to mention the Little Red Book. Oh, no, I haven't read from the Little Red Book in a long time. Yeah, send me a picture. Okay. So juxtaposed means the act of placing two things side by side to highlight their difference and similarities. Thank you. That makes a lot more sense for me, dude. Thank you for letting me know that. And I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to say I don't know that word. There's a lot of words I don't know, like juxtaposed. I'm probably not even saying it right. Who knows? So through honesty, you learn acceptance. It's the only way to get to acceptance, right? You can't accept something that you're not aware of yet. And honesty is kind of an awareness. Honesty is a type of awareness which can lead us to acceptance. Okay. So the first thing I did is I became aware of the fact that I might have a drinking problem. I became aware that my life might be out of control. Okay. That was a form of honesty. Okay. And then I got to acceptance. Okay, now I can accept the fact that I'm an alcoholic, because when we accept something, we have to do something about it. That's why acceptance is important. Okay, it, if you don't do something about it, okay, then it's not acceptance; it's still awareness. Okay, yeah, and acceptance is the first step to taking charge of what you have lost due to being powerless, which would be the unmanageability. All right, the unmanageability. Being true to yourself is the only way to attain absolute control over the problem, alcoholism. It's true. I know it says attain absolute control over the problem. Okay. Now I juxtapose Ukraine and Texas. You will be amazed. Oh, I get that. Yeah, I get that, Sam. Absolutely. Good job. Good job, man. You know, is it embarrassing or is it courage that allows us to do those things? So good job, Sam. Right? So absolute control of the problem. Now, do I have control? Yeah. Yes, I do. I have control over my actions. I have control over my feelings. I have control over my triggers. Absolutely, I have control. Do I have control over what you think? No, but as to thine own self be true. Do that. Yeah, other people that were well and good people. I know. What are some of the ways to be true to yourself? And don't say out, does it? To be true to yourself, you can be okay. So be honest. Be honest with yourself and gain clarity and build healthier relationships. I found that I needed another person to help me get to the point where so I could figure out if I was being honest with myself. And that would be done through recovered alcoholics and therapy. Stop comparing yourself to others and idealized images. Yeah, see, it doesn't matter anyway because your perception of me is not the same perception that I have. It's not. Comparing isn't going to do, or what it juxtaposing, right? We learn new words, so let's use it. So in this case, juxtaposing would be a bad thing. If you do any comparison, compare you to you. Were you better than you were last week? Are you better than you were yesterday? A year ago? You are. You are. Even if it was yesterday, you're better today. As for accountability, where we know we have faults and shortcomings, accountability is what's great about accountability is it builds self-esteem, which leads to all of this too. Absolutely. Be accepting. This was the hardest part for me. Accept yourself as you are. It was hard. You know, I'm diagnosed with all these different things. I've been called all these different things. Okay. But none of those things were really true. It was a perception of somebody else. Every day I accept who I am. I have to. Okay. Because I go to bed every night, I go to bed a recovered alcoholic and I wake up a drunk and I have to accept me for who I am that day. But you know what? I really fucking like who I am today. So now it's not hard at all. But in the beginning, oh, who with all my faults. And it goes on to say that acknowledge your vulnerabilities. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with knowing your limitations. I know my vulnerabilities. Those are my vulnerabilities are also my triggers, whether that's into emotional relapse, physical relapse, mental relapse, spiritual relapse, doesn't matter. Okay. I've got to understand my vulnerabilities, right? I'm a pretty sensitive dude. I am sensitive. Okay. Now, is sensitivity a character defect? Not really. I had to change that. And where did that come from? The self-esteem. The self-esteem. So that way, when this person said over here, you're a dumbass, Dion, I'm like, well, no, I'm not. Because I know my vulnerabilities. Absolutely. Forgiveness and love for myself. And what's great about doing forgiveness and love for yourself and why it's the hardest thing, we're hardest on ourselves than anybody else. I can tell you now, even on my good days, if you talk to me the way I talk to me, I'd punch you. I would not tolerate it. So why am I tolerating it from me? That's like when I hear a friend cut themselves down, I say, don't talk to my friends like that. What are you doing, man? It's okay to, yeah, you're right. It's okay to be crazy. It is. When I was drinking, and this doesn't quite apply, I told people I've embraced my insanity. We get along great. You know, that's taking a little too far. There's a song on Dr. Demento is called Happy to Be Living in a Split Level Head. All right. Am I crazy? Only in the sense that there's a word for it that applies to me. I don't know. In a clinical sense, yeah, I am crazy. So, you know what? That was a vulnerability. So, you know what I did? I became aware of it. I accepted it. And then I went fucking did something about it. Now you can't touch it. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Oh, no, you can't. Because I know the truth about me. Because I accepted my vulnerabilities. I looked at my strengths and I built upon those. I still do that. That's why I do this. It's one of my strengths. I'm good at running my fucking mouth. All right. Be accepting, acknowledge that, let go of the past and use it as a learning experience. These guys are hitting it on the head for recovery, aren't they? See, and this isn't about recovery. It has nothing to do with AA, but it's saying the same thing. Okay. Now, where is it actually getting it from? Cognitive behavioral therapy. AA is CBT with God. That's what it is. Right. In the clinical area, they call it the X factor. In AA, 12 steps, we call it a higher power. All right. So you got to let go of the past. Well, how are you going to do that? Good, Michelle. I'm glad. We can laugh at this. It's still, you know, laughing's the best medicine. Reader's Digest, right? Be kind to yourself. If I'm being a dick to me, I'm going to be a dick to you. There we are again. But if I love me, it's just going to be automatic. It's just how it's going to be. All right. So being kind to yourself, practice self-compassion, especially when things don't go as planned. Okay. I see this a lot with slips. Oh, I'm just a horrible person. I was just talking to somebody earlier in there. They're chronically slipping. Okay. And I can say that because I was too. But it was a process, man. I told him, every time you even, I don't care if you're getting 4 or 5 days or this many days. I'm like, but you should stop counting days because you're addicted to relapsing now. I was. All right. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm like, yeah, I know, huh? I don't know who told me, but it was a great idea because I didn't come up with that. Okay. Especially when things don't go as planned. Let's say somebody has 3 months of sobriety. Let's say you're working with a sponsee. They have 3 months, they're in the middle of their 4th step and they have a slip because that's usually when it happens. But then they came and told you, they came right back. That is fucking progress for any alcoholic out there. That is progress. You came back. It's hard. It's hard to come back. It's hard to come back after a slip. When you relapse for 15 years and you thought you had it all and you were such a great person or whatever, oh, it makes it even harder. And I don't want you to have to go through that. You don't need to go through it. We tell each other we are crazy to others who tell us they are crazy, and we sit with order, grace, and patience. That's pretty effing crazy. Oh, Sam. You're funny today, too. Remind yourself that you are enough as you are. Yeah. Yeah. Celebrate your strengths. Improve upon your strengths. Yeah. You got them. You're an alcoholic. You got a shit ton of strengths. Practice self-care. Take time for activities that nourish your mind and body. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage you, and set personal boundaries. Yes, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. So, all right. So surround yourself with people who support. Here, we're doing it right now. Everybody here supports each other, because we can agree on all of this, can't we? Because we've been there, we understand it, we've practiced it, we've been through this. Even though when it comes to outside issues, we may not agree at all. But here, there's a love and understanding. That's right. If you voted for somebody that I didn't vote for, you're still my friend. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't change anything for me. You have a different viewpoint? Oh no, I might learn something. Oh no, I might learn. God forbid. Leisure says the best way to forget the past and not let it affect you is the serenity prayer. The serenity prayer is actually the answer to many, 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 many questions. Might want to throw a many or two in there. Set personal boundaries, not outside boundaries, personal boundaries. Well, personal boundary be, I'm not going to the liquor store to buy ice. I'm not there yet. I'd love to go play pool with the boys, but I ain't there yet. Those are personal boundaries. No, alcohol should not be in the house. Right? Because if you set personal boundaries, then the other people are going to have to set those boundaries with you. It will become automatic. It is an inside job. Explore yourself. Examine your values, your beliefs, and your passions. You can find this out in the steps. Express yourself creatively. There's a lot of creative people in AA. A lot of creative people. In fact, I have one thing right here. This right here, Amber made this for me for my 8th birthday. Almost a year ago. April 16th. I have 9 years. All right. And she made this specifically for me. That takes a lot of work. Sometimes you'll see me wear my Spider-Man tie-dye. All right. I remember when I first got sober, I was afraid to touch my drums. For years, I didn't touch my drums. And I finally sat down, and I was a better drummer than I ever remembered. I'm not saying I'm an awesome drummer. I started playing drums. 9 months later, I was headlining at Herman's Hideaway. So you tell me whether I was a decent drummer or not. No, I'm not some rock and roll Neil Peart kind of drummer. No way. But I can keep a good 4-beat. And I don't know what it is, but when I sit down behind the drums, I create a mood. I'm not keeping a beat. I create a mood. Vote for Kanye. Fuck you. Get out of here. I will do everything I can to sit here and do nothing in the face of heartbreak, anger, sadness, hopelessness, any feelings. Practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness. We should trade some music. Yeah, you can send some stuff to me. I might put a beat on it. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and done anything, but yeah, I'd be come organize my art shit. Maybe you'll get a 9-year one. And she said, I'm a Virgo. She knows I can organize that shit. Stop. Here's a big one. Stop and reflect before making decisions. At least 4 seconds, if not a day. It's often my word documents is almost always open, because something will piss me off and I'm going to write them a letter. So what I'll do is I'll write the letter, I'll let it sit on Word for 24 hours. And if I still feel that way, then I can send it. And I can tell you now, it's never been sent. Right? Because I had to, I had to think about it, right? I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to owe them an amends. Nah. Yeah. Now respond versus react. Yep. One more, act on your core values and beliefs. If you're new in the program, listen to your tummy. It's where our intuition is. Right? I'm 54, and when I lie, my tummy hurts. It's just that gut feeling you get in your, oh, something ain't right. Listen to your intuition. It's almost, that's where your values and your core beliefs are. Okay? The only thing the brain is really good for is figuring out the best way to get it done. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Now I'm wrapping up right now, Michelle. I'm wrapping up. So, all right. And yeah, Sam, send that stuff to me. You have my phone number? I'm not gonna put it in chat here. I'm not gonna put it in chat here. Fuck it. Who's gonna do anything with it besides no one? There you go. There's my phone number. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. This was a good one. Thank you, Amber, for sending that out, kind of getting us going. I hope everybody has a great day. I love you. There you are. Okay. Gotcha, Sam. I love you. Peace out and have a day.